Hey guys, and welcome to another guitar lesson with me, Rex Pearson from rexpearson.com. As always, I hope you had an awesome week, and thanks for picking this video to learn guitar with me. We're doing a bit of an unusual song because it's a dance track. I'm a big fan of Daft Punk. They haven't released a song in 10 years, or at least 10 years as far as I'm aware, and they have released a new song called Get Lucky. Now I'm going to split this into 3 sections, so you've got an idea of how to play it. Now there's lots of layers in this song, so it's kind of impossible to be able to play the whole thing at once. There's about 4 guitarists playing different riffs, but I can give you a good idea of how it sounds. You can at least learn the chord progression and jam along to this really cool track. So I really hope you enjoy it, guys. And so let's get started with the chord progression. We'll learn that bit first, and then we'll move on to the other section and blast through those as well. So good luck with the song, good luck playing the guitar today, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay guys, the easiest way of approaching this is by learning the chord progression first, the harmony that's going on in the background of the song. Now, the only way you can really play it is by using bar chords, because it uses the chords B minor. Now, I tend to play it around here. That with all chords, you can play them in different positions. Most people will know B minor here. But as you'll see, as we move through the chords and the way the chords are played, I tend to position them around here because it's got similar tone and the similar voicings of the notes as it is in the original song. So I'm going to teach you it here. Unfortunately, it means it's all bar chords, so it's really an intermediate guitar lesson, but if you're having trouble with this, don't forget beginner guitar course on the website, totally for free. First chord, B minor, using an E minor shape here. Second chord is a D major. That's using the A shape, A major, shifted up to D. Then you're going to be looking at an F sharp minor chord, and it's the same as a B minor, but from the 9th fret here. And then you go down to an E major as an A shape here. So I would practice 4 beats on each. Before we then start building in the rhythmic elements. Now don't forget there's a tip section at the end of this video which I'll help you with each of these sections if there's anything I can think of that might help you out learning the track. Learn that chord progression first and you've got pretty much the Daft Punk song all the way through. Verse, choruses, everything is all contained within that chord progression. So feel free to jam away with those chords and come up with your own versions. Now we're going to look at the kind of funk style rhythm playing on the right hand, and I'll give you some tips on how to learn it. Now the first chord in the track, you don't actually play any sort of funk riff in the first part. It does later on have a funk riff on this, but for now you don't need to play anything. When it goes to the next chord, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Try and get that rhythm and watch the right hand as I'm doing ups and down strokes and try and mimic it as best as you can. Key point is that the rhythm is the same. Then you're moving on to a second chord. Now what it is, you've got to line up on the notes, 11th fret on the D string, the 9th, and then the 10th on the B. So that's on the D, G and B strings. And you're going to have to bar across with the first finger here across that 9th fret so that you can get this, those 2 notes ringing out. And then you repeat the same rhythm as you had with the first chord. So we've got that 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. And then you've got a little kind of lick that takes you into the main riff, which is a now it starts on the 14th fret, goes down to the 12 and the high E, and you kind of alternate that. Then you've got to roll over with the first finger to play that B note there on the 12th fret. And then you're jumping over to the 3rd finger on the 14th fret D string and sliding down to get that kind of effect. Combining all the sections together, I'll play it nice and slow. Really try and get the rhythm of this because it's the rhythm that holds the whole song together. So we've got first chord, nothing. Second chord, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then the riff, then you're back into the first chord straight away. And that, guys, is the sort of, I like to call them the stab chords of that section. We're now going to move on and learn the notes that are contained in the kind of riff and how to get that under your belt. Okay, now the lead guitar is all based around this B minor note, and we're going to be working around a pentatonic scale. So if you do know your first position minor pentatonic, in B, that's going to help you kind of work your way around the notes. It's not entirely in that scale, but pretty much uses those notes. Now, the first thing you've got to get is the right hand picking. That's the most important part of this, and without the right hand you're going to really struggle. So the rhythm to this pattern notice the up and down strokes on the right hand. Try and mimic it as much as you can. Now really slow it down if you have to get that right hand alternate picking and the two downstrokes at the end. Once you've got that main pattern, da 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 da, it's basically a variation around those, and there's a couple of times where it will maybe miss one note of that rhythm or add double the length of one other note. You'll see what I mean when we go into the riff. First riff contains the 3 notes of the pentatonic scale, those 3 notes, and you apply that rhythm that we just learned, and on the last 2 notes you play the last 2 notes. You play that once for that part of the riff. We're going to divide this into sort of 3 sections, so work on that one. Then you're moving on to the next combination of notes. Now I move my whole hand position down for this, and we're going to use the 2nd finger on the 7th fret on the D string here. Same rhythm again, or very similar, but you pause on that note, the 6th fret there, with the 1st finger. Then you're going to move up, same string now on this G string, to the 11th, and it's the same rhythm as the one you just did before, which is a slight variation on the one that we've kind of drilled. You pause on that 9th. And then you move from the 1st finger to the 3rd finger on the same note, ready for the final part of the riff, and it sounds like this, which is exactly the same rhythm as the first. Now I'll play the whole thing real nice and slow together. And then you go round and round those 3 key sections of the riff. Now like I said, guys, the tip section is where you want to head if you're having trouble with any of these parts. But for now, if you've got that under your belt, then good luck with the song. If not, head to the tip section of this video. Okay, a couple of tips, guys, for learning this song. First thing I usually encounter with people is the not able to get the rhythm correct. And that's why you kind of got to isolate either the right or the left hand. Usually the right with funk playing. So when you're doing this stab chords, just try and isolate the right hand and strum along to the actual track to use it as a basis. You can try and count the beats. Remember, you don't play anything for 3 beats on this first chord, so you got 1, 2, 3, and it's after the 3 that you play. But you could not use the chord, just forget about it. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, up, 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 down, up. That's the strumming pattern that I'm using there. Up, 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 down, up. and then you just wait for the 3 beats, and you should roughly line up on the rhythm there. The actual track is obviously much faster than that, so when you do play with the track, make sure you've got at least a good understanding. Obviously learn the scale, the first position. Have those notes kind of in your head before attempting any of this. The other thing, like I say, is to make sure you just work on the right hand. That's the main rhythm you've got to get in your head. The only variation is where it pauses on a note, and all you do is the last note that I'm playing there, you just completely ignore, so it would just be... So you've got 2 rhythms. 1, 2, and then the next one is exactly the same, but just 1 at the end. And use my picking pattern here as a kind of sort of basis, foundation for where your picking should be. So if you're concerned about down or ups, have a look at how I'm playing the rhythm. It's a slightly unusual picking pattern, but it makes it a little bit more natural feeling when you're playing it, to use that similar sort of alternate picked pattern with the accents and the 2 downstrokes at the end. Whew. Okay, so there's a lot to go, a lot of stuff going on in that. You can kind of pick up what you need to from it, and hopefully, you know, at least it'll inspire you to kind of play along with the song. If you want to improvise over it, then by all means use the B minor scale to rock a improvisation over it. So for now, guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the guitar lesson. I hope it gives you an idea of at least how to approach the song, and give you a bit more than what a tab ever could. Thanks so much for clicking on the thumbnail, guys. Really appreciate you watching the video, and if you do get some time, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, so that I can make some more tutorials like this one. Have an awesome week, guys, and I'll see you probably on Twitter or Facebook. Hit me up on a message on there if you fancy chatting about guitar, or if you've got any questions, in the comment section below. I read every comment and I will answer your questions, or some of the kind subscribers, awesome guitarists who watch some of these tutorials might be able to give you a hand as well.